So basically today, I want to share with us about how to safeguard your customers from your competitors. I was discussing with somebody yesterday last week, and the main discussion was the number of customers they've been losing recently to their competitors. So I was asking myself, what can somebody do to safeguard especially their key customers from the competitors? And an experience I had with my yam seller, his name is Adamu, that sells yam to me, just showed me the importance of protecting your customers. So I buy, for the past 3 years now, I've been buying yam from this Adamu guy. And 3 weeks ago, he called me. What he always does was that he has approximated the number of days it will take me to finish the last batch of yam I buy from him. So let's say I buy like 10 tubers. He can say, okay, within 2 months, these 10 tubers will run out. So what he does is start from the 6th week to call me. Now, so last week he called me. I just bought last month. So last week he called me that he wanted to see me. So when I got to his place, I said, Adam, what's the problem? He says that he will be traveling for Ilia and he wants to give me yam, so that he doesn't want, when he travels, I'll be going around to look for where to get yam. That was when it struck me that what this guy was trying to do was to stock me up for the period when he won't be around, so that I won't come to experience another person. Because as long as he stocks me up and I have enough of his stock, I won't be going to another person to buy. Now, this guy knows that. In fact, a lot of time he'll call me and tell me, Adam, I don't have cash on me. He said, okay, no problem. In fact, he also even calls me doctor. Say, doctor, no problem. When you come next time, you pay me. Because when he called me this last week, I thought there was an issue. When I can say, Adam, I don't have money now. I say, doctor, no problem. When I come back, you pay me. So he has realized the importance of protecting his customers from the competition. Unfortunately, it's what a lot of people who are in business have not realized. That if you don't have a strategy for protecting your customers from your competitor, you don't know what the customer will experience when there's a gap in the supply and he tries your competitor. Because one of the assumptions a lot of people make is that we are giving these customers a wonderful experience, we are satisfying him, and this guy is happy with us. But I can tell you that the day you create a gap, and that guy perchance experiences another person, you find out that suddenly almost all the things that you feel that were benefit to you are giving to him, he will drop those benefits. So our key emphasis is on, number one, ensuring that we fill up the supply gap of our products to the customers. The only time your customer will try to look for other ones is when there is a demand gap in supplying him your product getting to him. Because when he comes today, he's not available. Comes tomorrow, it's okay. Let me even go and try another brand. And which is important for you to ensure that at least you know what your minimum reorder level is at any particular point. And also from what I learned from Adamu is, you don't just know your reorder level, but you should be also able to track your customers' consumption level. That have been supplying him this product, and from analysis, this guy uses this product within 1 month. It means that if from your performance, what he's been buying from you, you know that within 1 month you finish the supply. From the 3rd week, you need to start to follow him up. Because, and this is where also statistics comes into play. You should be able to have a chart of each of your customers' purchasing system pattern with you. You know, there was one of our big clients that is into shipping. At the time we tracked his customers' performance, we created the chart for him. And when he looked at the chart, somebody he assumed was his biggest customer, he didn't even know. Let's say this person was doing a business of about 100 boxes with him every 6 months. So about 10 boxes every month. He didn't realize that for the past 3 months, this guy has dropped from 10 to about 2. So it was when we presented this chart to him that he saw, this person being, and he called the guy immediately. The guy said, oh, there are something, so I'll give you an order by tomorrow. What it means that you should also start to study your customer's business, to understand how his business works, so that you know when to follow him up to actually get him to key into buying more from you. Because customer exposure to other brands is part of the reason why a lot of brands are destroyed. If you limit your customers' exposures to other brands, just imagine why everybody knows MTN, but every day they are running adverts. Why are they doing that? They want the strength of their brand to remain strong on the minds of the customer. And which is this, why this is, other people too that also do it. We run SpectraNet, Wi-Fi, and even DSTV. You notice that when your DSTV just expired, somebody calls you to remind you that your subscription has expired. So it's important for us to learn to follow up our customers. The next point I want to talk about is no matter how strong your brand is in the market, don't flaunt your monopoly. What do I mean by this? There is a woman by our office that was selling food stuff and other provisions. She used to be alone there. Now, because she felt that she was a monopoly on the street, when you come to buy things, she was always rude and saucy to people. And within a few months, somebody opened across. Now, what she didn't realize that was people were just waiting for a competitor to come. And so the new guy now pulled most of the customers away. And one of the worst mistakes, one of the biggest way to lose your customer to your competitor is to assume that you are very good in what you are doing, or your product is so good that another person can't drag them away. In you people's company, your brand is the leading one. But don't assume that because we are the leading, that somebody can't hijack you. Kodak used to be the biggest photography company in the world. But they became so big that they didn't realize that digital technology was coming in. Until one day, Japanese companies came in and took over the market. At the stage, Kodak had to file for bankruptcy. The same thing to apply to us. Let's not just assume that because we are the strongest that we would remain there. So it's very important for us not to assume that our customers don't have options. They might not have options today, but don't force them to start to look for options. Even if you're a monopoly, even if your product is the best in the market, if you don't monitor the attitude of your staff towards customers, one of the biggest drivers of customers looking for alternative is usually the attitude of the company towards them. Once they see somebody who treats them better, even if the person offers inferior product, they will switch. The other one is add activity to your productivity. So what do I mean by this? In most of my training, I always say that we should learn the difference between activity and productivity. Now, somebody might just be running around and at the end of the day, he has worked so much, but what did he achieve? But what we also need to realize that when it comes to your customer, you can be productive in selling to them, but also add activity to what you are doing to them, which means as much as possible, be in the face of your customer. Even when you don't have something to sell to them, you need to be in their face. Is when one of the a manager of UBA showed me how important this thing is. He has one customer that was doing massive turnover with him. And this guy, Christmas, he spends this in the village of that customer. When he closes from work almost every day, he comes to this person's place first before he goes home. Because he has realized that this is my biggest customer and I need to be in his face constantly. So it's not just about selling to the customers and waiting for the next time when you go there. Which is why we need to, there's a guy called Nido Quiben. He owns, he's the president of America, of a university in America. He said he has categorized his customers into class 1, class 2, and class 3. Class 1 are his top 10%. Class 2 are his top 20%. And then the class 3. He said that at least every 5 days, he makes sure he either sees or calls his top class 1 customers. Every 7 to 10 days, he ensures that he calls his top 20% of customers. And at least once a month, he calls the other ones while his other staffs call them. So it's important for us to identify who are our top 20% that gives us 80% of our product, of our sales, and ensure that whether they are buying or not, let's be in their face. Because when you are in their face, that is when your product's name will constantly be on their mind. What I've come to realize is that a lot of CEOs make decisions based on who is in their face. And it means that if your competitors' marketers are always in their face, and it's only when you come to supply that you come there. One day it's okay, let me even give you 2 cartons of supply. The guy supplies 2 cartons today. Tomorrow he comes again. And he joins them in selling his own 2 cartons. He comes the next day again, he joins them in selling about the other 5 cartons. Gradually, he's growing because he's in the face of the MD. And one day you come, you find out that about 80% of the market has been taken from you. So it's important for us to push our marketers to realize that it's not just calling them to find out if the product has finished. And just go there, interact with them, join them in selling their own, what they have. Form that bond so that they no longer see you as just one of the people who come to sell. And when you're constantly in their face, once they want to see, the human mind has a minimum number of names it can retain for any particular transaction. If I tell you now that I want to send waybill to Ijesha, for instance, here I'm sure there are about more than 100 Kabu people that can drop. But I'm very sure that it's about less than 5 names that can jump up to your mind who to call. Because these are the people who are constantly in your face. So let's learn to be in the face of our customers. Continuous business, product and service improvement. You need to ask yourself, in the past 1 year to 6 months, what improvement have you done to the way you do business? Do you realize that the car that you see now, that was 2019 model of any car, will look very wonderful. But give that car another 2 or 3 years, it starts to look as if it's an old model. The time you are seeing something for the first time, it looks so new to you. But once you don't do anything to that product or service or business model, people get used to it and it starts to become an old thing in their mind. So the way you package your product, has there been any change to it? The way you interact with your customers, has there been any improvement to it? The quality of your services, has there been any improvement to it? For instance, one of the areas I think you guys need to actually work seriously on is that each of your marketer needs to actually know how to fix some of these your products. So that if he comes in and they say this product has these issues. They should be able to explain to the customer how to fix the product. So it's very important for us to ask ourselves, in the way we do business, how do we improve it? Assuming we're in an international company, how do we run our company? How should we run our company? 6 months, we've done some improvement in the way we package our product. But in the next 6 to 1 year, is there any plan we have towards improvement? And apart from that, in planning for the next 2 years, next 5 years, what are the designs, improvement plans we have for the quality way we deliver our services, the way we interact with our customers, and the way our business is growing? The other way also to safeguard your customers from your competitor is working on perception. Perception is stronger than reality. It's not the best products that sell, but the product that people perceive to be the best. It's more important for you guys to work on the perception people have about your product than even on the quality of the product. Which is why somebody might have a very good product, but find in the next 2 years, the person can't sell it because he has not worked on creating the right perception about his product. Perception is always stronger than reality. Which is why we need to invest on the way we package our products, the way we package ourselves, the way we advertise, the way we interact. It has to be in such a way that once people, anytime they think of our name, a positive feeling has to be stimulated in their mind. So we need to actually gauge the perception people have about our product. And which brings me to the other important point about getting a third-party, unbiased, unfiltered feedback from your customer. Let me give you an instance. Peter recently went to Aba to visit one of our clients. And when he got there, they deal on hair care product. He was asking about one of the customers, one of our clients' products. And people say, no, that particular product, they burn hair. That's why they don't sell it anymore. Now, the perception the customer has is that product burns hair. Now, the client has not gotten this feedback at all. If not that somebody actually went out to ask, what is the challenge you're having with this product? Because a lot of time you might be feeling that your product is not selling without knowing that a wrong perception has been created about that product. And the funny thing was that it was even the wrong application that was causing the problem. A customer might be using your product in the wrong way and it's not giving him or her the right result. And it just creates the perception now this people's product doesn't work. So it's important for us to gauge what perceptions do people have about our product. Even in the Bible itself, Jesus was at his sake. All the people say, what are people saying about me? So it's important for you to strive to sell, but it's also more important for you to find out what are people saying about my product. That is how you get the right perception. And a lot of times you won't get this thing from your marketers because all they want to do is just to sell. Which is why somebody from management has to at least once every 2 months go around to the market and ask your customers, are you having any challenge? You need to design your questions in such a way that you can elicit the kind of right answers from them. Because if you ask them, I hope you are getting good results from our product. They say, oh yeah, your product is doing well. But ask them, what challenges are you having with our product? Why are people not buying our product? You need to ask specific questions that can give you some kind of answers that on a normal day, they will not be willing to give to you. So that before you go around now, design the kind of questions you want to get the right answers from these people. So when you ask them, what are people saying about this our product? Maybe they might be saying that your particular product cracks, or that your WC doesn't fit well. And in most times, what I've found is mostly because of wrong information. But when you don't ask the right question, you wouldn't know. And when you ask and you are given the right answer, you get given the right feedback, you can start to correct those perceptions that have been created about you, and that's how to turn around the perception. Seek for unidentified needs of your customers. Before iPad came out, most people did not understand that they needed an iPad. But Steve Jobs said he wanted to create something that will combine your phone and your laptop into one. Unidentified customers' needs. Some customers, Steve Jobs said that he wants to combine the phone and the distance. Ask him why now. Why not make the laptop thinner and make the phone faster? He said, as at now, people don't realize that they need to have their laptop and their phone as one object. But I know that when you present it to them, they will see it's a need that they actually have without even realizing it. And the time he launched the iPad, people will say, wow, we never knew that you can combine your laptop and your phone into one gadget. So there are a lot of needs that your customers have that you can start to actually leverage on. There was something yesterday that we were in your place. There was something somebody was talking about the spanner. He has identified a need and he has worked on it, which means if you buy his own product and you want to tie it, you don't even need to buy a spanner to tie it. From what I understood from his explanation, he designs the screw of his own product like a spanner, so that you don't even need anybody now can buy it and fix without even calling a plumber, because there's already a built-in spanner there. Those are the kind of unidentified customers' need that you need to start to find out. And when you start to when you then bring those products, people will say, wow, we never realized that we had this need. So it's for you now to study your customers and ask them and start to ask yourself, what are the things that they've been managing without even knowing that these are needs that we have? And when you start to do that, you find that you are protecting your customers and you're keeping them longer and safeguarding them from your competitor. Because as at now, I can tell you that in any line of business you are in, every day, at least 1,000 new people are planning to come into that industry. And if you don't have any system that protects your current customers from those people who are coming into it, you find out that you wake up one day, you have no business. And finally, I think the biggest aspect of protecting your customer is always driving out for more customers. Because if you are not aggressively adding more customers, whether you like it or not, no matter how good you are, some customers will leave you. Their brother, their wife might start your line of business. So it doesn't mean that because they like you that they won't shift to their brother or wife. So you need to actively have an aggressive plan that is driving your quest for new customers. It means that you need to actually have a target of this year. We want to increase our customer base from 1,000 to 1,005. As you are setting your sales target, you must also set your customers acquisition target. Which means this year we started with 100 customers. By the end of the year, we want to have 200 or 150 customers. In next year, we plan to have database of 300 customers. Because if you don't do that, you can start with 100. Before the end of the year, they would have dropped to 80. They would have dropped to 70. That is how businesses go down. So thank you for listening, and let's